Shaun Rein, The End of Cheap China, Economic and Cultural Trends That Will Disrupt the World. Welcome to the book summary of The End of Cheap China, Economic and Cultural Trends That Will Disrupt the World by Shaun Rein. In this summary, we will explore China's rapid economic evolution and how a rising middle class, increased wages, and a shift in manufacturing are changing the face of the global economy. Additionally, the book discusses the issues faced by the Chinese population due to corruption, lack of trust in local products, and social inequalities. You will learn about the implications of China's growing economy on globalization and its relationships with other nations.
China's labor transformation. China's economy has shifted from cheap labor to well-paying jobs due to foreign investment, providing a ripple effect of positive change for its young people. With over 1.3 billion inhabitants, strict underpayment is now less common. In the 1990s, finding employment was excruciatingly challenging, but due to a surge in recent investments, there are now numerous work opportunities that pay a decent wage. Although outsiders assume pennies for labor are still prevalent, China's economic growth and the workforce's intellectual upskilling have provided more favorable conditions. The world has yet to grasp how to manage a rapidly advancing China. China's economic changes. The economic changes in China are impacting the manufacturing and retail industries, forcing companies to consider moving production to countries with lower wages. As wages in China increase and labor shortages persist, more companies are struggling to maintain their margins. While some are relocating to countries such as Indonesia and Vietnam, others are considering moving their production back to the US. Western businesses seeking to sell in China are also experiencing difficulties, with soaring real estate and rental prices in major cities. As China becomes more challenging as a production market, it becomes more important as a consumer market. China's middle class sparks retail revolution. China's thriving middle class now has the purchasing power to buy consumer goods that were previously unaffordable. This presents an exciting opportunity for both domestic and foreign companies to capitalize on China's lucrative retail market. Companies like Yum Brands and Nike have experienced massive success in China, with luxury goods being a particularly lucrative industry. However, as China's middle class continues to grow and purchase more goods, global commodity prices are also likely to increase, which will affect consumers globally. China's emergence as a major retail market has significant implications for businesses and consumers alike. The risks of antagonizing China. The US has a lot to lose if it antagonizes China. Poorly informed Americans who clamor angrily against China should acknowledge the dangerous risks at stake. China's military expansion may threaten American hegemony, but the fiery rhetoric only increases tensions. The US could lose up to $2 trillion in Chinese investment due to hate-mongering. Instead, the US should focus on productive dialogue and diplomatic solutions. China's economic growth opportunities benefit the world, and cooperation is necessary on a global scale. The rise of Chinese brands. Chinese brands are gaining popularity and respect not just for their price but also for their quality. Many successful brands such as Mindray, Wang Laoji, Mengniu Dairy, Li Ning, Anta, and CTRIP are penetrating not just the domestic but also the international market. This reveals a shift in consumer preference from American brands to Chinese ones due to their exceptional quality. Even though Chinese factories also produce goods for domestic consumption, Western companies should not overlook the quality of products manufactured by Chinese firms and give respect to them as they make better goods. The Cultural Revolution's lasting impact. China's Cultural Revolution lasted from 1966 to 1976 and remains a dark moment in Chinese history. The student-led Red Guards terrorized, tortured, and killed many of the nation's most prominent people. Some communist heroes were among their victims. This period deeply affected the Chinese people, including some of the older men on the Standing Committee of the Politburo. During the revolution, Marshal Yi Jianying and Deng Xiaoping, both future leaders, suffered greatly. Deng Xiaoping's son was even thrown out of an upstairs window and became paralyzed for life. The revolution's effects on communist leaders led to a misconception that the leaders of modern China participated and approved of its actions, but this couldn't be further from the truth. The dangerous chaos that ensued during those years dramatically affected many Politburo members, and now, many do their best to promote stability as one of China's primary virtues. Although the central government sets national policy, provincial, county, municipal, and district governments implement it according to their preferences. Corruption often taints these regional and local authorities, causing some leaders to ignore directives from the central government. Foreign businesses opening in China must secure the approval of the central government and the permission of local authorities. This often requires navigating the web of connections between local businesspeople and the central authorities, known as guanxi. Although still meaningful, guanxi does not have nearly the importance it once did. Safe food remains a significant concern, and the desperation for it is so high that gangs have resorted to selling baby formula. Despite the issues, experts agree that the benefits that the central government brings far outweigh any negatives. China's economic transformation. China underwent an economic transformation after the Cultural Revolution, encouraging wealth creation and gender equality. Women have benefited greatly, earning more than half of China's income and outnumbering men in universities. Foreign companies with quality products do well in China's retail market, especially Western food companies, as Chinese food companies are not trusted. Despite the central government's power, China is not quite the monolithic and totalitarian state many imagine. Chinese citizens also face issues with housing and education. China's global dominance. China's quest for global dominance via natural resource acquisition, infrastructure investment, and economic power is dividing nations into camps of support and opposition. China's rapid growth requires a secure supply of natural resources like iron ore, oil, and copper, which it has found in Africa and other nations via heavy infrastructure investment and bond purchases. Countries without democratic governments prefer China's non-arrogant approach to American interventionism. Two camps exist worldwide. One sees China as a hugely beneficial force in the global economy, while the other views its rise as detrimental to other nations and even a scapegoat for America's problems. Regardless of ideology, China's mammoth economic power has made it a bona fide global superpower that some consider a potential savior while others view as a hegemonic influence. Despite this, China's internal problems may prevent it from becoming a dominant global force.
In conclusion, The End of Cheap China provides valuable insights into the country's meteoric economic rise, marked by improved wages, a burgeoning middle class, and growing consumerism. While China faces significant challenges, such as a tainted food supply and limited natural resources, its relentless quest for wealth has made it an undeniable global superpower. Despite the ongoing debate about the implications of China's rise for the world economy, one thing is clear: it will continue to play a key role in shaping both domestic and international markets. With a more in-depth understanding of the country's cultural and economic nuances, businesses and governments can better navigate through the shifting tides brought by China's undeniable presence on the global stage.